Fancy just won the Madden 25 Kickoff Challenge Championship for $50,000 using a very dominant defensive scheme to completely confuse and rattle his opponent's offenses. Now in this video, I'm going to break down the secrets behind his defense he used to lock up his opponents. So the first thing you need to know is Fancy was running the dime 3-2 on defense very effectively. This formation can be found in a lot of playbooks. One of the more popular ones that has it is going to be the Jets, because not only do you get the dime 3-2, you get the nickel double mug, the 4-3 even, and those are some very, very meta defenses right now. Now, when running this defense, you're going to want to set some audibles. You're definitely going to want to have the free safety zone blitz and then also the DB fire 2 in your audibles, because you're going to come out in the play double safety go every time, but then you're going to audible to the other plays. You don't actually want to run double safety go, but I'm going to explain why you come out in it to begin with. Now, when running this defense, you also need to know how to use the proper coaching adjustments. You really want to have auto flip off of base alignment, option defense set to conservative. Now, we want auto flip off because we want the ability to just keep the defense either flipped or not flipped to our preference. We don't want the defense controlling that, and that's very important for the free safety zone blitz. We want base alignment to keep the DBs lined up wide to the sideline. This really helps defend a lot of the meta routes this year, like corners. Now, zone drops, you want to leave them on default. Like, you could change them throughout the game. Like, yes, if somebody's giving you problems with a deep corner, maybe you could put your flats in 25 or 30, but you don't want to start out doing that. You want to see what the offense is doing before you get into setting zone drops. Now, the play you're going to come out in, like I said, every time is this double safety go. Now, Fancy had some of the best bunch defense I've seen really all year long, and it was just honestly because of the way he was mixing in his calls. Now, the reason why you come out in double safety go is it brings your safeties down into the box, guys. You guys see the safeties come in the box, and then when we audible, say we want to audible to DB fire 2. When you audible to DB fire 2 and other plays in general, you see the safeties stay in the box. This is important for 3 key reasons. Number 1, it helps defend against quick seam streaks. The seams are some of the hardest things to defend in this game. Having the safeties in the box will help prevent those quick throws over the middle. Number 2, run defense. The run is not like super OP right now, especially since they patched the spin, but still, dime, 3-2, or dollar is typically not considered the best run defense. However, when you have your safeties in the box like this, it is actually very good run defense. And finally, it just helps disguise everything you're doing. When you give the same look to the offense every time, they don't know what play you're calling, which is huge. So, past that, I want to look at a few of the more popular plays and successful plays I saw Fancy use and really just break down the coverages he was running to lock people's offenses up. Now, guys, if you're new to the channel, I do daily Madden 25 tip videos and gameplays, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop me a like, comment on the video. If this video gets to 500 likes, I will post a part 2 breaking down his offense he used to win the championship. Now, also, I do have a full dime 3-2 breakdown on my site, sportsgamers.com, for VIP members. So if you want to learn even more of this scheme, be sure to click the link. It's in the comments, pinned in the comments, and as well as in the description. So let's start with the DB fire 2. Now, when running DB fire 2, typically you're gonna want to change the coverage because you just don't want to leave this in a basic cover 2 shell. That's gonna be easy to rip apart. Now, one of the most common things I saw Fancy do was basically on the one receiver side, he would go ahead and set it up to where he had the safety into cover 3, basically an outside corner and a third. So he would have the outside corner and outside third, the safety and an inside third, then he'd have cover 2 on the bunch side. Cover 2 on the bunch side is effective because it helps slow down those corner routes. Now, with these 2 hook zones, obviously, he would user one. Most of the time, you'd want to user the one on the running back side and not the bunch receiver side. So this is just the first way to run this, and you guys can see against a play like double post, you're going to get some quick pressure, and, there's really, not much they can do there. Now, yes, the middle of the field can be open if given the time, but you're kind of, when you're running pressure like this, banking on them not having too much time. Now, another thing that he was doing a decent amount is maybe, he didn't want to all-out blitz. he would only rush one corner. Mostly, if he was rushing one corner, he would rush to one on the bunch side. So if you did something like that, you could also put this corner in a hard flat in the slot, put this guy in the outside third, and this guy into the inside third, and now you have more, free roam of guarding the middle of the field. This is actually very effective, especially if they're not blocking anybody. Just send 4. Now, you're not going to get crazy pressure when you send 4. This is more of like a block shed defense. But if you take a look at the replay again, you'll see this is an effective coverage. Really, as we take away that middle, there's not much they can do here. Just as you guys can see, my slot blitzer got bumped by the receiver. Typically, that's not what we want. But as you guys can see, there's really nothing here. Maybe they could have thrown the C route if they saw it late. But initially, that looks guarded. Keep in mind the switch sticks. The switch stick is something that Fancy is very good at. And in a situation like this, you could just easily switch stick to the flat zone and take that away. It might look open late, but if you switch stick it, that is going to be a pick. So this DB Fire 2 was very, very crucial for him because it was able to give him pressure off the edges, which would go very well with the next play I'm going to show you, which is the free safety zone blitz. Now, this free safety zone blitz is basically going to be, it's been run since last year, right? We know what this play brings, but it was the coverage adjustment that I saw Fancy use that was truly the reason why I feel like his defense was so effective. So what he was doing was on the bunch side, he was, again, playing like a hybrid. He was playing cover 2 on the bunch side, so what he would do is he would put the safety in a deep half, then he would put this guy right here in a vertical hook, and then he would put this corner in a cloud flat. Now, the blitz honestly doesn't even matter. You could send the blitz or not. Even sometimes I'd see that he wasn't even blitzing. He was just, this formation has the threat of the A-gap blitz and the edge blitz. This defensive setup did a great job for Fancy against pretty much all the meta stuff you were seeing, whether it be posts, corners, the seams, and again, because he has these 2 safeties in the deep zones, they are very easy to stick switch to in this defense. So, let's say, they're running a play like double post or verticals with something over the middle. What I saw Fancy do a lot, was basically stay low with his user and kind of just bait that and then just switch stick to it and undercut routes just like that. You see how I switch stick 3 or 4 times between the deep zones? That's what makes this defense actually super OP, is it's I think it's probably the best stick switch defense in the game as far as just the way your zones are set up, how easy it really is to switch between all of them. Because right here, again, I didn't even send the blitz, which was, again, another key for his game. He, honestly, like I said, was playing more coverage than blitzing. But what he would do is he would start the play low with his user, right? He would act like, ooh, I'm taking away that running back out of the backfield, even if it was covered. But he wanted you to think these crossers and these posts and the deeper routes were open. Now, keep in mind, he has 3 deep zones he can easily switch to. He has the deep half on the left, the inside third on the right, and the outside third on the right. Sometimes he would also quarter the safety opposite the bunch too, but again, that's just another adjustment. Anyways, though, if you look at where my user's highlighted, I start the play underneath, right? I start here, you guys can see the circle highlights him, and, I give the impression I'm guarding underneath, then I go bam! I click onto the one safety, the next safety, then I even come on the corner. This is how you take away these deep routes and bait into the offense into throwing picks. Because if they throw this right here, I'm easily undercutting that for a pick. Then I see you don't throw it, then I switch stick to even another player and try to take away the next thing I see coming open, which is this case, is this vertical route here. So this really makes you hold on to the ball a lot as an offensive player, really because you can just switch sticks so easily. You don't even necessarily have to blitz from this defense. But as you guys can see, there are 2 very good blitzes in this formation with DB Fire and the free safety zone blitz. If this video breakdown helped you guys out, make sure to smash that like button. You can start playing defense like a pro. In the meantime, check out sportsgamers.com for more great Madden 25 tips. And it's your boy Duke. I'm out of here.